I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. It's your guy Hans Luador here with my main man Ev Butler Sands. How you feeling today, brother?
Listen, I'm better and better every time I hear our intro music. That's how I'm doing. Amazing.
Nice. Yes, that intro's fire. Credit to the pod Mamba. Lou, what's going on, fam? What it do? Lou here with us. Appreciate you. How you been, fam?
Man, keeping it cool, keeping it light. Great to be here.
Yes, sir. As always, Pod Mamba's here in the background, making sure we're on point and continue to be the number one basketball podcast that you're listening to. Number one. Yes, sir. Uno. All right, guys, it's that time of year. And no, I'm not talking about the NBA Cup. No, I'm not talking about Thanksgiving. I'm talking about it's the week of the birthday of our guy, Evan Butler Sands. Y'all turn it up, man. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Drop some bombs for my boy.
Right. Drop one of Clues bombs for Evan Butler Sands. We don't have that yet. That's copyrighted. Okay, so listen. As per 3-on-3 podcast tradition, if you're an OG, you already know what's about to come. If you're new here, we like to toast each other on the week of our birthday, celebrate each other, because we know, especially in this climate and in this world that we live in, every day is a blessing, let alone a whole year of life. So I'm going to start it off by toasting my guy, one of my best friends, one of my brothers, Evan Butler Sands. Sir, I appreciate everything that you've done and mean to me in my life. You're the big bro I didn't realize I had. I appreciate you, your family, your words of wisdoms, your praying for me. You really have been a shining light in my life, man. And I can't thank you enough. I appreciate every random phone call where it's just, hey, 10 seconds, and it's way more than 10 seconds. I appreciate all of those, man, because it's on time, man. It really is on time, brother. So seriously, man, I know we don't give each other enough flowers as men. We don't give each other enough flowers enough, man. So I'm going to give you your flowers, bro. I'm really thankful and grateful to have you in my life as a brother, as a friend. Thank you. And I hope that this year around the sun, man, continues to bring you and your family great blessings, man. So I'm going to toast you up right here to Evan. Toast, man. Take a sip for you, brother.
You already know,
brother.
You guys are welcome to share some positive words, man.
Wow, man. Trying to follow up after that is an incredible feat, so I won't even try. But to my guy, Evan, shout out to you being a part of the family. Didn't even know that I needed, man, but we started on this journey together. So, like they said in the film, man, bad boys for life, man. From now until the sun sets, man. So I wish you this year and every year to come be the best year of your life, brother. Toast it up to you.
Listen, man, I appreciate y'all highly. Thank y'all for this. Listen, I'm just happy, like you said, another year around the sun. Another year I get to share, another season I get to share with my brothers, man. Just growing, growing together, growing on this journey, talking basketball, and just growing closer as friends and brothers, man. We family now. When we do get up in person, it's a movie, it's a vibe, and so when you get to spend good times like that, and we get to just recreate it weekly, even though we don't get to hang out in person weekly, man, this is just a blessing to me. So I look forward to this every week. talk about what I love with 2 people that I love, with 3 people that I love when you count Pod Mama behind the scenes. So I appreciate y'all. Let's give the people what they want today. Let's keep giving the people what they want for a long time to come. Thank y'all, man. I love y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir, man. Yeah, man. I love you too,
sir.
man. You hit the
Big
nail
up,
on the
big
head,
up.
bro. It's a blessing. Blessing. Pop Mama stepping in, man.
Evan, I just want to say, let's move it along. All right, come on.
In true Pod Mama fashion.
Yes.
Listen, Pod Mama, until we re-sign Soto, man, there's absolutely nothing I can say to you right now. You between Kendrick Lamar and the LA Dodgers, I'm lost. So, let's keep it going, man. You won the year, sir.
The year has been a solemn year. Anywho, man, happy birthday, Ev. Y'all, you're listening. Get on our social media. Wish Ev a happy birthday under our post. Comment on our
Spam the
YouTube
comments.
video.
Spam the comments. Spam
Yes.
the comments.
Wish our brother a happy birthday, y'all. On Spotify, you can comment on there as well, too, while you're listening. Wish our boy a happy birthday, man. Shout out to you, Ev, again, brother. Happy birthday, brethren.
Thank you.
All right, fellas, let's jump right into
Dirk
it,
Nowitzki
man.
year.
Stop it. You had to do him like that. Look,
It's
if
all
your
good.
old
It's
friends,
all
man.
good.
He a Hall of Famer. He a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer.
And he got a chip, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, talk about talk, baby. Talk
Feel
that
like
talk.
I feel like Dominique, okay? I feel like Dominique in age. So let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. All right, guys. First topic is it's way too early, but we're going to give you our list. So now listen. What happens is the beginning of the NBA season, everybody likes to come up with their list of who's the greatest, what players are their top 10, 15, what teams are the top teams and things of that nature. But we're going to do things a little different here on the 3on3 podcast because we're not your regular podcast. That's why we're the #1 basketball podcast. That's why I'm speaking it out there, okay? We do things a little differently here.
There we go.
We're going to do it not by who we think is the best, not by who y'all think is the best, not by some random internet list you find on the internet on Twitter that's been pissing me off all week. No, not by that. Not by that. We're going to go by our standards, by first and second team on BA. We're going to list our top 10 using that criteria, narrows it down. Now, we know it's way too early. We're giving you that disclaimer, but nonetheless, it begs our attention. So let's start off with the first. Let's how we want to do this. Do we want to share ours individually or do we just want to throw the list out there? What y'all think?
I mean, let's see if what our list look like and if we have any discrepancies and jump into that.
Okay. Pod Mamba. We'll start with Lou. So Lou, your first All-NBA team, we got Shea, Joker, Tatum,
Yes,
Giannis, and Donovan Mitchell.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
Okay.
Your 5 against my 5 anytime.
Okay. I have Joker, AD.
Here we go.
That's not my list.
Hans picked 6 people for his first team.
Yeah, no, like Pod Mama put the extra person in there. My list was Joker, AD, Giannis, Tatum, and Shea. This is why we're the #2 basketball podcast. It's all right. It happens, man. It happens. Mistakes happens as these refs have been doing it all week. We know.
Man.
We know.
Let's pivot to Evs, and I think our Pop Mama will have yours up.
Nah, it's fine. I said mine already. I got Ev's list. So Ev's first team is Joker, Giannis, Tatum, SGA, and Luka.
So it looks like we all just had a guard difference. So Lou had Spider Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Hans had. Did you have Steph Curry? Hans, or who was the guard?
He Tatum.
Tatum.
I had Tatum and Shea for my guards.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
He's a guard, man. Look,
All right, Gabe, hold on. Give me a couple of seconds. God damn it. I'm fixing
You're
his
good.
list.
You're good. You're good. So he had Tatum. He had Tatum at the guard spot first team. I see what you did there to sneak him in there. And then I had Lucas still first team. So really, we
Yeah.
talking about the difference between those three when you're talking from a first team standpoint. I'll go quick on why I went Luca, although I see at least I see where Lou's coming from. Hans, we're gonna talk positions again here in a little bit, but so for Lou first, I say this. I had Mitchell on my list from a team success standpoint, and I didn't necessarily knock him because his numbers are down, because I understand that his stats are down because it's coming in a more symmetrical way, right? For the entire team, you got Garland
Absolutely.
better,
Yep.
Allen looking better. So definitely understood there. And from Luca's standpoint, Luca's stats are a little bit down from when he peak Luca, right? At the end of the day, though, I still went with rewarding the superior talent that's Luca from an overall totality of the game versus that. And then from the Tatum standpoint, for the second year in a row, I just ask this: if Derek White's on the court, if Drew Holiday's on the court, and Jaylen Brown's on the court, Jason Tatum's the fourth tallest person out of that group. So if Tatum's a guard, who's the forwards out there? But that's it.
blame NBA. On NBA.com, his position description is
Guard or forward.
guard or forward.
So
Blame
he plays.
NBA, Ev. Don't blame me, sir.
Because he
Blame
plays
the NBA.
It's because he's playing a three. But look, let's be real. Like, look, Evan, I appreciate your thought on Luka, but again, if we're looking at right now, who's leading their team to glory? Whose team is perfect? And who is the captain and the catalyst of that team? Just like who is the captain and catalyst of their team down in Dallas is Luka, as to translate into the wins as well, man. So on top of what you're doing on the court, from a team perspective, what is happening? So I'm giving it to Spider. Spider has really raised the stock of his team over Luka. And also, I mean, I may or may not have some bias towards Luka, but that's another conversation. So, but man, I think that other than Hans slipping in AD due to technicalities on the guard and forward position,
how's that a technicality? Yeah,
it is. It's semantics. If Tatum was a forward, right, would you have AD on the list?
Wait, say it again.
If Tatum was a forward, would you have AD on the list?
If Tatum was a forward?
Yeah, you put Tatum at
for your list, because at your list, Tatum is a guard.
I would have AD.
So you'd have him over Giannis?
No.
Say if you consider Tatum the forward, would he be on the list?
No, he wouldn't be on the list.
Oh, spicy.
No, because you can't deny it. Listen, although AD is out here defending people with his face and eyeballs, you can't deny the numbers that this guy's putting up. You can't deny how he's showing up. He's not backing away. He's not disappearing. I'm going to give him credit where credit's due. As much as we've criticized him, as much as I'll speak for me, as much as I've criticized him for not living up to expectations and being somebody who is, I guess, a shell of himself sometimes, I have to say he's showing up this year. I know we discussed it in episodes past, whether this is him or if this is, JJ Redick's offense, et cetera, et cetera. Nonetheless, man, this dude's like the third leading scorer in the league. He's putting up points and he's being efficient on the defensive end. I got to reward this man and put him out there. Now, Lou, I appreciate you being the level head out of the two of us, but this ain't no team award. This is an individual award, okay? Donovan Mitchell, you're tripping. You're tripping, okay? Stop it. I love you, Lou. You know I love you. You're my best friend, and I love you. But stop it, sir. This is not a team award. This is the players, all right? The best in their position, sir. You are wilding right now. Y'all worried
Okay.
about whether Tatum's a forward or a guard. We need to be worried about whether Lou is drunk or not, because Donovan Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, and I love Spider. Well, come on,
Don't
man.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That was definitely a spicy ad, you know. But you know, if you have Tatum as a guard, you know, my list looks just like yours. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Because AD is actually, but well, you know, for me, I'm looking at it like center for center. Am I taking Joker or if I'm taking AD? And I'm hard pressed not to take a guy who was already at it, you know, averaging a triple double, like you know what I mean, like he's throwing hay in the backyard.
But AD's a
Sir.
forward. You know, he could be a forward too.
The
Just throwing
NBA
that out.
changed all that. It doesn't go by position anymore. You could have multiple centers in all NBA first team.
But you can vote based on how you feel. And so I'm a more traditional person, right?
Yeah.
I believe from a historical standpoint, right? When you look back at this, you know, years from now, you're going to be putting centers against centers. You're going to be measuring those things. And so to me, especially when he's starting every single game as a center this year, AD has fully embraced the center role. And there's no shame in putting him behind Joker. That's the only reason he made second team for me, because as much as I don't want to see Joker win MVP again, he's starting off this year even better than he has started off previous years, right? You come out the first 4 games, multiple triple doubles, multiple 40-point games. It's like, what are we doing? We roasted the Nuggets first episode of the season, and they come out to win, proceed to win like 7 straight before, you know, losing, you know, dropping a few. But, you know, is by no reason is it because of Jokic. So my pick, while I understand what Hines did, right, I have to be consistent to the, you know, I had the same Embiid versus Jokic, you know, all NBA arguments the last 3 or 4 years. You know, I couldn't go to route, I'm a cheat, put one, you know, both put them both on the first team because they both playing great. So I'm gonna hold myself to that same standard. I think AD's second team this year, no knock, no shade to him. That's just my construct, right?
Yeah. And I think it speaks to the level of talent at that position right now.
Absolutely.
That these guys are really taking it serious, right? So, you know, we're really splitting hairs here between AD and Nikola. But yeah, man, Joker is yet again just showing us why he's the premier center of the league, and AD without by no stretch is he not in the conversation of that as well. I mean, look, let's be real, man. Depending on how things transpire the rest of the season, he may be even in conversation for MVP. So shout out to AD and how he's really been balling these first couple games of the season.
Yes, shout out to the brow who's not getting protected.
The bra. And let me make one more point. I don't mean to overrun this, but
Hurry
part
up,
of the
Ev.
reason
Hurry
I will.
up,
Part of the
His
reason
birthday.
I got away.
Let him cook.
You told me this is me. You told me.
You're right.
Part of the
Let my
reason
man
that-
cook. Go ahead, Ev.
Part of the reason they went away from the position defined All NBA is because there weren't enough good centers in the league for them to even find 3.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
It wasn't because there were too many good centers and they weren't to try to award them, right? If you look through history, you know, the glory days, not the glory days, but the days I grew up in basketball, you had Shaq, Ewing, David Robinson, Akeem, all fighting for All NBA center. One of them getting left off every year, right? 80s, 70s, you know, centers have always had to go through that. So to start muddying it now, but let's call them something else so everybody gets a participation trophy. It don't roll with me. That's all.
Facts. I can see that. Facts. All right, fellas, let's move on to the second team. Second team. Who we starting with, Pop Mama? Who you got coming up there, sir? All right. So Lou's All-NBA second team is Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. So you went with the Olympic team? LeBron
Basically.
James and Anthony
Basically.
Edwards. Like, you
I'm
literally went with the
glad you said
Olympic
that.
team.
I'm glad you said it because that's exactly how I was going to frame it, man. Look, again,
Nice.
these guys have come into the league with the Olympic hangover. LeBron is again looking like he's turning back the hands of time and almost averaging a triple-double in the first 12 games of the season. I mean, Steph, we didn't expect the Warriors to be doing what they're doing now, and Steph is still showing that he's the chef. You know what I mean? And look, what we expected from Ant to be doing as now being the number one guy on his team, he's continued to prove that, you know, and really fully stepping and embracing that role. Look, and like, you know what I mean? We already spoke about AD and what he's currently doing. So all it, and KD, what a slim reaper, man. Come on. At the end of the day, no matter how Phoenix is doing, this is, I guess, in attribution to it's an individual award, right? So I mean, he's still a walking bucket, and he's still probably the greatest scorer on the court right now. So these guys, obviously, these guys are older and you know, moving towards the sunset of their careers, but they're still showing the NBA why they're the legends and future Hall of Famers.
So next we're going to be talking about Hans's list, but I'm still kind of scared, even though I checked it like 5 times on our text. So I'm about to put it up on the video, but I'm just saying I'm scared right now. I'm scared.
No pressure.
Correct. God damn it.
No pressure, man.
Don't worry. Whatever you put up, it's incorrect and not your fault. It's because he's incorrect.
All right, my list. Karl Anthony Towns. That's right. On Hans's list, Karl Anthony Towns.
What's today's date? It's November 18th, 2024. Hans has the big meow on one of his lists. This is great.
Yes, the big purr. Karl
Big
Anthony
Jerbs.
Towns.
I got you.
LeBron James, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, and Anthony Edwards. Good job, Pod Mamba. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Pod Mamba.
Big up.
Yes, sir. We're back. We're the number one basketball podcast that you're listening to, okay? Number one. We're back on top, baby. Back on top. So, yeah. So, my list right there. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Hans, you're a glorified president of the Karl Anthony Towns Hate Club. How dare you proceed to put him on a list and you don't necessarily like him or feel et cetera, X, Y, and Z? Well, here's really what it is. It's more so an indictment on Joel Embiid and him not being able to show up this year.
Ooh. Pew, 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 pew.
That's really what's going on. Joel not being able to show up, him being hobbled when he's on the court, the Sixers still losing with him and Paul George out there is my reason where I'm like, you know what? You're not showing up. Get out. You know, when coach subs you out and puts somebody on the bench who you know you're better than, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know you're better than, and he puts somebody in. I'm trying to put a fire under Joel Embiid's behind right now, okay? There's no way Karl Anthony Towns should be out playing you and balling. Even though he drops 50 and still loses, he's still out here out balling you, sir. Your best ability is availability, okay? Show up, show out, sir, okay? That's why Karl Anthony Towns is on my list. I'm proving a point to Joel Embiid, who's an avid listener of this podcast, and we're the number one basketball podcast in the universe. Okay, that's what's happening right now. That's
you could have remedied that by not putting 2 centers on your All NBA first team, but whatever.
All right, relax.
You know, I feel like even when y'all don't do this, y'all kind of do this to disrespect me in a way.
It had
Here's
nothing
what
to
I
do with the Knicks, bro. Nothing to do
it's
with
not it didn't, but it felt a little personal. Like your rationale for Cat was not only not discuss Cat, but to also disrespect, insult the other player that I like, Joel Embiid. So I feel like you came at me twice
Happy
with this
birthday, man.
rationale. I
Happy
appreciate
birthday.
that. I felt the gift
Hey,
there, man. And
what's
it's
better
all
than one
good.
shot? Two.
You know,
Yeah.
and you want to know what the backstory to that is? Thanks for bringing it up, Evs. Thanks for bringing it up. So, what was it, last week? 2 weeks ago, we go down to Tampa. Like I said, his beautiful, beautiful baby daughter was dedicated to the Lord. We also had a prayer walk, and we also balled out too, right? And I want to throw it out there. Evan Butler Sands blocked my shot. And he did it so ferociously, like it was the game-winning shot or something. And it was just real. It had such disdain and disrespect in the way in which he blocked it. And I just
Did he
looked
stop
at
and
him
look
and I
at you
said,
after?
"Sir,
Did he block
huh?
and then look at you? Did he block it and stare at you after?
Listen, I just had to look at him and I said, "Sir, I would not let this stand. Some way, somehow, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get it." And you did so. You know, I was on one leg. You know, I was carrying that team. And you still disrespected me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it back twofold. Okay, bring it back twofold. Talking
Hans got a
mad
slick back.
trash too. The whole game. The whole game. And he tackled me. How do you not only go out to defend the shot, but box out all the way at the 3 line and knock me into the stands? Listen, listen, listen.
Let me
You
just
you get nothing from me, sir. You get nothing.
I,
Shut up, Pop Mamba.
so let me just say real quick, and I don't want to derail the show with this
It's your show. Derail it. There's no
But
topics.
we showed up for basketball to be had, and Hans just was talking a little too much to folks that didn't need to be talked to, right? So I felt like, Hans needs somebody to talk to. So when I got on the court, I said, I'm gonna be that person that Hans can talk to.
Oh, so he wasn't picking on folks his own size.
There you go. There you go. He was using other folks to get him going. And I said, "Oh, Hans wants to get going. Well, we're gonna go." And it made the rest of the time much more entertaining because we have folks that didn't show up that we thought was showing up. So the day started off a little slow, right? The basketball started off a little stale. It needed a little spice, Lou. And Hans wanted to bring some. So I said, hey, I'll bring some as well. Let's make some jambalaya out here. And we ended up having a great time. He fought through the injury for about 4 games.
All I know is that per breaking news, Hans is a jerk on the court. Per sources.
Wow, per sources.
Per sources.
Listen.
Hans is a great guy.
I am a gentle figure on the court. Okay, I'm very nice. I'm very
And
mannerable.
we're not even gonna allow the lies to happen here, yo. Okay.
No, he was getting real chesty out here. Speaking of my boy Cat, he was getting real zesty out there on the court.
Nah. Listen. Backstory. Okay, here's the backstory because Ev's not telling you the truth.
Sorry, Pop Mom, but we apologize. Go ahead, sir.
Here's the truth. Here's what really happened. Okay, I was hobbled and hurt. Y'all knew this. Y'all saw this.
Non-contact injury.
Non-contact injury. It hurt. It really was hurting. Like my wife had to get me medicine. Y'all know I don't like to take meds because I want to play ball with my brethren. Okay. What pissed me off was, you guys know this. How dare somebody who is not of your caliber start to talk mad trash? And not only are they talking trash, they're fouling you during that, risking you getting more injured. Okay? That's really what set me off. And Ev over here defending his teammate, and he knows he's just riling me up, throwing gasoline on the fire blocking my shot, echoing the trash talk, just egging it on. I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, really? Like, this is what you're doing? This is what you're doing, Evan?
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna go
you're
to the locker
putting a
room and take the shot.
battery. He's putting a battery in the dude's back, man. He's just charging him up. And I'm like, yo, you know, this dude has nothing for me, okay?
Real quick, watch what I did though. Watch what I did. So I'm doing that, and I give Hans credit. They was down by a bit. Hans come out and knocked out like 3 straight threes to end the game, right? So it went like they was playing to 11. I think they was down like 10-5. And Hans went boom 7, boom 9, boom 11. I said, oh okay, he juiced up now. All right, he ready. Let's go play ball. That's it.
No, man,
I turned him up, and we brought the competition up. It ended up being a great day. Everybody went home hurt, Lou. Everybody went home.
Well,
Happy birthday to me. But I felt Dirk Nowitzki. Okay.
well, it sounds like there was a certain age bracket in which
Absolutely.
that was being played.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We
appreciate
needed
it.
that energy to get through it. All right, let's
So,
go. My list. So only thing on Cat real quick. He's on my third team if we were doing that, only because I went traditional center. But 26 and 12 has fit into the offense for the Knicks seamlessly. I mean, he's having a phenomenal year, at least on the offensive end. Defense, let's not talk about that. So, my list, you want me to run through that?
yep, we got yours up.
That's where I had Davis. That's where I had KD. I had Jaylen Brown, D Fox, Anthony Edwards. Edwards, I think we all agree with, pushing that leap. I challenged him for a minute. You got to get above 25. He's at 28 right now. De'Aaron Fox, folks been out. He carrying the team on his back. You mentioned the greatness he did here, over 100 points in 2 games. Jaylen Brown versus LeBron. That's a controversial one there. And I'm not gonna lie, I awarded the initial success of the Celtics, but I can't take away from what LeBron's been doing this year as well. Looking phenomenal for his age. So I have Jaylen Brown there second now. That's the one where I leave the door open the most for change to be made.
Shout out to whatever LeBron's health and training regimen entails.
I told y'all what that is. That's that daddy pride right there. Okay, I told y'all. You have his son out there on the court with him. LeBron ain't taking no mess this year because his son right there.
Per breaking news, Ev may have been on crack when making his second team choice, per sources. We all know who the sources are.
What they call it, fake news, all right?
Fake news.
Fake news. Liberal media.
Wow. All right, guys, let's move on, man. Let's move on to the second topic, record breakers. We're breaking records out here. Records have been broken this past week in NBA basketball. We have James Harden passing Ray Allen on the 3-point three-pointers made all-time list. He's now underneath Stephen. He's underneath Wardell. We have
the chef.
the chef, yes.
The chef.
We have the Cavs, as we're recording, 15-0. Perfect team in the league right now. They haven't done that in a long time. It's historic for them to come off in a 15-0 fashion. And last but not least, Ev mentioned it before in the last segment, De'Aaron Fox just went off and he dropped 60. Then he dropped 49, and he is only in a group with the likes of the great Mamba, Kobe, Bean Bryant, and Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. So I think we should award him. I want to start off with De'Aaron Fox, and then I'll let you guys kind of go wherever you fit in, which record, stands out to you the most. For me, it's De'Aaron Fox. And I say that because Ev mentioned it last season in terms of him getting snubbed for the FIBA stuff, the Americans. He's not in the discussion for Olympic teams, and his relationship is cantankerous when it comes to that nature and him getting snubbed. I think this is a perfect way of letting everybody know your greatness, despite them snubbing you for their quote unquote accolades. And it made me really smile just to see him kind of go off, although one of them was in a losing effort, but nonetheless reminding people that, hey, this is still my team. Matter of fact, my last thing on this, during the beginning, well, off season, when they came out with all those different NBA special shows, the starting five on Netflix, right? And they had another one on ESPN. I forget the name of it because they're not paying us. Nonetheless, on the starting five, they featured Sabonis and basically touted him as the leader of the team. And in my head, I'm like, isn't that's De'Aaron Fox's team? Why they have a special and they're not featuring De'Aaron Fox, but they're featuring Sabonis? If I'm De'Aaron Fox, I'm coming out this season letting everybody know, no, this is my squad. We
Mm-hmm.
get anywhere, it's because of me. So I say that to say his record to me stands out the most. And also, you're in the likes with Kobe and Will Chamberlain. What more do you want? Those are greats. Those are greats. So that's
Yeah, I mean,
the record for me.
I think also to help, I think having Mr. Clutch from last year, being in DeRozan on the squad is also going to help with some of the holes that they needed to fill and some of the pitfalls of him being able to have such great individual performances and then the team not necessarily matching that. So, nah, man, super dope. Big up to D Fox. I've been a fan of his since college. So for him to do that type of performance back to back, man, speaks volumes because at the end of the day, you're playing against other professionals. These are all the best basketball players in the world. So for you to do that is by no ways a small feat. So big up to him for sure.
Me also fan of De'Aaron since at least his rookie year. I still hate he cut off the Vegeta hair. I wanted him to keep it his whole career, but just to see his growth, year in and year out, up to 29 a game this season, putting the team on his back. An exciting brand of basketball that he gains more and more control of each year. So I love to see a player not only grow but gain perfect control of their powers as the year goes. And so he's putting it all together. He's had stretches like this in each of the past 4 years. For him to see him just putting it all together right now, you hope he sustains it through the year. And like Hans said, he's the leader of this team. So you hope that he's able to turn this into some playoff success to where he'll get the recognition that he deserves for the talent that he's been and the growth he's continued to be on. And staying loyal to Sacramento, giving them an identity when they were floundering without one for a long time.
That's a big fact, though. Staying loyal, because he could have dipped.
Mm-hmm.
He could have dipped. He really could have. Facts.
It seems like
All
this
right.
is trying to give him some pieces. So we'll see. You'll probably give it. He's still young, so we'll give him a couple more years and see where it goes from there.
True. All right, y'all. What do you guys make of James Harden, man? He's still out here doing
Look.
historic things. He's out here putting the Clippers on his back with the absence of Kawhi Leonard. Who knows when he's ever going to play again? Passing Ray Allen, the great Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
To be number 2. Great movie, by the way. We need to do a
He got
segment on great
great.
basketball movies. But
Also,
anywho,
great sneakers that came out of that too.
yes, the He Got Games. I wore those last week to work. Shout out to Denzel rocking those. Fire Denzel. But anywho,
Mm-hmm.
Harden, does he not get enough credit out here, man? He's putting up records.
I don't know, man.
Does
This
he
is
not
my
get enough credit, man?
my least favorite, or my least excited about of all three of these. I mean, look. He did it in almost 200, just over 200 less games than Ray Allen did. But I think that's also by virtue of the style of basketball that's being played now versus when Ray Allen is played. I would be interested to see the percentage, right, as compared to Ray Allen, right? His 3-point percentage to be at that record versus Ray Allen's. But I know I sometimes I don't get I kind of thumb my nose at James Harden, but again, in a league of professionals, in a league that's been around for decades, for you to be able to now surpass somebody who's known as one of the greatest shooters of all time. All jokes aside, man, it is actually a major thing. We know he's gonna be he's top 75 player, as you guys reminded me earlier. So he's gonna get walked into the Hall of Fame, right? First ballot. And having this on his jacket is just a testament to why he deserves to be in the Hall.
Hold on, Lou. He's gonna get walked into the Hall of Fame. He didn't earn it. Like he didn't earn himself into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I didn't even. Why you like?
I listen. I read it between the lines, Lou. He's gonna get ushered in there by virtue of a technicality, or that's how you're saying it.
At least I ain't say he's backdooring into.
Go ahead, Paul.
You guys know how Steph inspired kids to shoot more threes in basketball games nowadays. You know what James Harden inspired kids to do?
Get fouled and get and ones from the line.
Travel.
Yep.
So Pop Mama makes an excellent point. Steph inspired kids to shoot more threes. Unfortunately, James Harden taught those same kids how to go about creating those threes. All right. It's the step back and the dribble all day and pull horrible 3-point shots. But with that said, I don't wanna pile on James Harden. All right. 8 straight years in his career, averaging 25 or more, 10 if you're rounding. This first ballot Hall of Famer. And honestly, if you asked at the beginning of the season, right, through 14 games, would the Clippers be 7-7 without Kawhi Leonard? Would James Harden be averaging 21, 6, and 8 in this season, right? If that was put in front of you, you would say the Clippers to this point are overachieving, not underachieving. So while it's irrelevant, it's not going to mean anything at the end of the season because this season is going nowhere. James Harden, I assure you, is ecstatic that Kawhi Leonard's not there and he gets to play 2018, 2019 James Harden basketball again. Give me the ball. Let me throw lobs to Zubac. I get it to Powell when he's wide open. Yep. Listen, I'm back in LA. James Harden's having the time of his life. And so the same way it feels like, Trump won that life by winning this second election, James Harden might have won that life by where he ended up with in this season. So
man, look, and he's probably getting all his whatever incentives are in his contract. He's probably knocking them off left and right.
Every single one of them, yes.
So he needs to send Kawhi a gift basket. Got it. Unpopular opinion. Allen Iverson caused more people to carry than James Harden caused to travel. Just saying with that crossover.
Look, their hands just aren't fast enough. They just their hands. They fast enough move, man. That's not AI fault. Okay, it's not.
Was it AI or N1 mixtape that taught kids how to carry?
I think AI walked. So N1 mixtape correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah. So I mean. I think AI broke the ground and made all of that be able to go from underground to mainstream.
No,
just saying, man.
I was carrying in his commercials when Jadakiss was rapping. I'm just saying, but shout out to the answer, okay?
Oh man, have you showed your age, but those were the glory days, man. I don't care.
Listen,
I don't care. I'm
Hold on,
agreeing
hold
with
on.
him though. Those were the
I
glory
know,
days,
I
man.
know. All of y'all were eyes. Do you remember?
Hey, look,
You were
I
All
was
Star
here.
Game savant. You
Yeah,
remember when them
I'm here
anthems
for that.
came out, and we all were outside in the driveway at halftime trying to do that spin behind
Yeah,
move that he did in the commercial. Man,
yeah,
listen, those were the glory.
absolutely, absolutely.
The
Let's see
100.
if Trey Man is gonna pull some of the moves out.
You might.
Listen, I'll say you said Trey who?
Trey Man, you know they out here trying to call him Lil AI now because he got the big shorts
Oh,
and the braid.
stop it.
Come
Stop
on,
it.
man. He right there with LaMelo.
Stop it. Y'all need to relax. Y'all need to relax. Hyping these guys' heads up. All right, y'all. Let's move on. Even though we didn't get to discuss the Cavs, shout out to the Cavs. They're doing a great
Hey,
job. 15-0 as we speak.
it's one of
I'm
those,
looking
man. 15
forward.
and 0. Enough said, man. That's all they looking at everybody saying. We the standard. Catch up.
Nah, man, I love what I'm seeing from them. Uh-oh, here we go.
Sorry, before we move on, you talking about the Cavs, Hans. Sorry. Do you guys think the Lakers record for most consecutive
It's not
wins is in
about the
trouble?
Lakers, bro.
Is it in
Nobody
trouble with the Cavs,
cares.
or the Cavs are going to lose before then? I just
Nobody
want to know your guys'
cares.
You know, we almost went
Almost got through,
we
yo.
almost went this whole show without talking about the Lakers as a team. I guess AD, me putting AD in my first team was not enough for the Pod Mamba. You give him an inch, he's gonna take a mile. Give him an inch, he's gonna take a
Well,
mile.
to answer your question, I hope they do beat that Lakers record. And we have another moment, another segment talk about record breaking.
Well, they've got Boston 2 of their next 6 games. I definitely don't see them winning both of those. They're at Boston. As by the time y'all hear this, that game will have been played. So
Yeah.
we'll know a lot then. So I think one of those 2 games, they'll this will come to an end.
Cleveland needs to also thank Coco Jones.
I'm done with you, Lou. Listen, man, you got the right woman in your life. Things that happen. Things
That's
will
also why he
happen.
made my first team.
I'm done. All right, y'all. Let's move on. So, inside the NBA, y'all. Inside the
That was a
NBA.
buzzer beater right there.
Right.
We're
Inside the NBA, y'all,
oh,
is they've settled their dispute, the NBA, and they are moving to ESPN. This is very much so interesting news for me. Don't get me wrong, Inside the NBA, definitely a legendary show, has shaped sports commentary, has won. I don't even know what the number of Emmys that show has won as far as sports shows, but it's a legendary show that will never be duplicated, replicated. It's just there, right? But is there any concern with quality? Do we have any concerns with quality with them moving to ESPN? And I'll start off with you, Ev. What are your concerns, if any, when Inside the NBA moves to ESPN?
So I think the show will be different to an extent. I think
I'm sorry to
anytime you
interrupt.
change.
Did they announce who the cast is going to be?
I didn't see any changes to the cast.
No, I think the cast is going to be the same, which is interesting because I didn't think Ernie was going to leave Turner. And that's what concerns me, which we'll probably dive deeper into it. But from what I know, before when deals were being discussed and all of that, Ernie was adamant about not leaving Turner.
Cool.
But who knows if things have changed. Here comes the Pod Mamba to let us.
I swear to God, if Lefko's in it over Ernie, I'm gonna destroy ESPN, bro.
I don't think they'd give it to Lefko. That's a tough. You know what it reminds me of? Remember the Daily Show when Jon Stewart left?
Yeah.
Those
It
are
says they'll
hard.
all remain. It says Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq will remain with the show.
Okay, so they have confirmed it. All right, cool. Well, but yeah, I didn't want to interrupt your thoughts. I just wanted to get context to make sure, like, if they
Yeah,
had
and that's
already announced
shocking
who
to me
Johnson
because
was.
I thought Ernie was. He said he didn't want to leave Turner.
Listen, man.
Money talks. Money
That
talks.
bag. And so that goes to my point that goes to not my concern from an ESPN standpoint, right? They've made a dramatic shift in the past few years to they've really mirrored the NBA. It's almost a stars and scrubs approach to it, right? You see what they did with the NFL, paying 20 million plus for Buck and Aikman for Monday Night Football. Stephen A. Smith, he makes his contract negotiations known. They went for Shannon Sharp. They double up on Greeny. But all the mid-tier talent, they shuffle them out. That's why you lose a Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Jalen Rose.
yeah, Jalen Rose. The list is endless. So ESPN is definitely doubling down on we'll pay the top dollar for the premier talent at the extent of the other talent. What I'm very fascinated in is what does that mean for their current NBA countdown show? Does that mean that we're not having the Stephen A and the Wilbon and the Malikas doing and the Perks doing the half times and the pre games and whatnot, which a lot of people would not be disappointed at.
I'll say I'm for it.
Yeah. So very fascinating to see what it means for that iteration going forward when you bring it inside the NBA. That's one of my main thoughts on it. But of course, happy to see the show continue, even if it's going to be in a different iteration.
So here's my concern. Sorry to cut you, Lou. My concern is if you've ever watched the documentary they had, I don't think it was last season, the season before, which gave you the inside behind the scenes, the legacy of the show, the production crew. And Lou, I know you're into this, so you know what it takes to put a show together, to put a good product out there. It takes a synergy, a chemistry with your production team, along with the talent to put that out there. I'm curious, are they going to move some of that production team? Now, granted, the showrunner retired last season from Inside the NBA. He retired. And it was still going well because I forgot his name, but someone who has been working with the team for years stepped up. So it kept going, right? It kept going. My issue is ESPN. I don't trust them to keep that same quality going in terms of their production team. If we look at it, think about all the historic shows that have left because of ESPN shuffling around production teams and not allowing talent to be talent. Right? I think about that. So yes, they are doubling down on some of their premieres, the Stephen A. Smiths and et cetera, but also they have a history of letting great talent go, and we can see that they're flourishing in other areas as well. And I think this is a shot for them to kind of regain that or rein that in by taking a show that has a historic legacy on its own, to let people know like, oh no, we're still good at retaining top talent shows and top talent production, when that honestly may not be the case. So I'm concerned about production and the quality of the show once it gets under the Disney umbrella, because as history's shown, man, if you think about it, the Dan Le Batard show, like, that's gone, like, and how that was growing and doing its own thing, when how they shuffled around Sports Center. I'm telling you, I'm concerned about production, but I'll let you say your piece, Lou.
Nah, man, you really jumped into what I was gonna say. Like, I don't have faith in Disney. And ESPN, seems to be fickle. So the best thing that they can do is, because for them with this, they already have a ready-made product, right? It's theirs to mess up, in essence. Bring on as many people as you can bring on, and then just let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Giving them the resources they need for them to be able to continue to produce the quality of a show that brought them this much acclimates, right? So, uh, I would have assumed that in the negotiations, this was a big part because, I mean, if we're seeing it, I'm sure that, they are even more intimately involved and see it not only on the front end, but also on the back end. So, we're seeing that ESPN is kind of moved towards, I don't want to say it towards more of a love and hip hop approach when it comes to shows now, but no, they're looking for more clicks than actual substance. And inside the NBA was able to give you a good mix of the two. Yeah, they were able to touch on some stuff that's happening off the court. Some things are tangential to what's happening on the court, but really they were able to garner a lot of interest to what's happening during the game and bringing people who love the game, both again, fanatics who dive into every stat, and then the casual fan in itself. And so many organic moments that they were able to put forth in that show. And I think that you're only able to do that if you're giving the liberty to be able to just do what you do. And like I said, they've shown that they have a ready-made product. It's up to Disney and ESPN to mess up. Hopefully, they just let them do their thing, and just allow them a platform for them to continue to keep this train rolling.
Yeah, unless they did it like the contract that Pat McAfee has, right? Like, hey, you guys are just a vehicle for me to broadcast my show, but I'm keeping my people, I'm keeping my producers. If it's set up like that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But my concern is if ESPN has too much of their hands in the production of the show, I think we may be in trouble. But I feel like it may be set up like the Pat McAfee also because of, I don't know, something aligns me with Ernie. I feel like Ernie is loyal to his people and his team. I feel like
Yeah.
he's only really at ESPN. I don't think it's for the money because Ernie, honestly, he's getting up there. He's on his way out. I think it's like if I can bring most of these people along with me, I'll do it.
And
So
let's be
that's
real.
my thinking.
Chuck not arguing with these guys. I'm sure Chuck is like, look, I want what I want. Father Paul, Kobe Bryant, like he want to do what he want to do. Like, do not mess with that man. Okay, he's gonna be like, look, bro. So and that was why I asked that question initially. If they announced that they're keeping the same cast, because if they are keeping the same cast, I think it's difficult for ESPN to then come and say, oh no, here are the changes that we're gonna make, and they're gonna basically be like, why? We don't need you. I mean, like, this is a more benefit to you guys than it is to us. Any other network would love to have us.
They've been negotiating for publicly for over a year. Like I stated, multiple time Emmy winner. The mold is there for, like you said, the McAfee mold for them to keep their production in place, and ESPN just be the vehicle to broadcast it. And they're the best thing going for NBA commentary. So it's in ESPN's best interest to not screw it up and let them roll. If McAfee can curse on TV, they can do their thing at night.
Correction. They're the second thing going on NBA commentary. We're the first. Get it right, Evan. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you for joining us. As always, please check us out on our social medias as the 3on3 Podcast. Don't forget your task for this week. Shout out our boy Ev. Wish him a happy birthday in the comment section. Big him up. Let him know you love him, that you're listening. Happy birthday again, Ev. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up, guys, and thanks for listening. I want you to do two things for me right now. One, give this episode a thumbs up. And two, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on all the socials at the 3on3 Podcast and send us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you and tune in next week.